the 90s Knicks, Tibbs was on the bench at a certain point when we broke the record for holding 33 straight opponents below 100 points when he was assistant coach with Jeff Van Gundy. Pat Riley, of course, became, a golden gecko on the sideline. If you ain't know that Wall Street movie with what's my guy, Robert Douglas, Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas copied Pat Riley. That's what he was trying to look like in the movie. So Pat Riley bolted for us. We talked about the other day. He left for 10% of the Miami Heat. How can you really turn that down? He ain't no Jalen Brunson, I'll tell you that much, right? But those 90s Knicks are still iconic for us.
Of course. 1,000%.
They helped build the current era. At a certain point, we were the most valuable franchise in the NBA without winning. Nothing. And I just want to shout out the 90s Knicks because we can't overlook the fact that they did not win a championship. Yet somehow they are unforgettable. Yet somehow they are that valuable that they monetarily, spiritually for us, they became the most valuable franchise on Patrick Ewing's shoulders. On his shoulders. Yeah, he didn't win, but guess what? You don't need to really win. It's how you do things. I think we're always going to respect that. The Golden State Warriors had the We Believe Warriors, the Run TMC Warriors. You got iconic moments. Now you don't win.
Iconic moment, definitely.
And then you have flashes in the pan too. Like Akeem Olajuwon got his 2 rings, but there's no real. What's the culture behind the Rockets? They were the first to really shoot threes like that. But for me, they're iconic because it's Akeem and he doesn't get enough love. But we Believe Warriors, it means something to them. Like that's still a lot to those players and that fan base. So for us, we always bring up the 90s Knicks because you see it in real time. All the hate that the old school got, we done with the 90s, we done with the 80s, yet we got a team out here playing like the 90s Knicks, about to contending for championships, contending in the playoffs. A huge threat. Everybody looks at them as a huge threat. So much though they use us for clicks, everything. So
I ain't never seen Knicks talked about so much
ever,
and we still ain't won nothing yet. But boy, they love talking about us
because that's the goal, is to be unforgettable. And the only way to be unforgettable is to make these moves. Like what Brunson just did. I'm sorry to anybody else. You think it's clickbait hyperbole. He has now become, it's hard to grasp this without winning. But this is the most, to me, I don't know a bigger legendary moment rooting for a fan base. I mean, Willis Reed coming out the locker room and win a championship. Like to me, this is up there because it's like it means that much. It just does. Jalen Brunson's never gonna be Patrick Ewing, Frazier, Willis Reed, Bernard King. He's not supposed to be those guys. He's not physically up there like to do something like that. Top 6 MVP vote getter though. How do you do that? And he's showing you the right way to do things, and along with the organization. And I think the Knicks did a lot of that in the 90s and became unforgettable. And now I can't see me forgetting this team ever in my life. At this point, you know how this goes, Flea. It gotta be when Shorty got you like this. You ain't forgetting her, man.
Never.
You not forgetting her.
Never.
There could be a ring on your finger. And listen, likewise for the wifey. If she got somebody like that back in her day, it happens with humans.
I'm sorry.
It's all about how you feel. How did they make you feel in the moment? Just like music. You remember the songs you remember where you were. I remember I'm gonna always remember where I was at when that Jalen Brunson thing was. I was sitting at the table like I couldn't believe it. And it was an hour late. I got the text. I got the alert. And I'm like, nobody saw this? I thought it was fake news. Couldn't believe it. So this unforgettable. And it just I'm still in shock about just how we turned out to be the total complete opposite of how we've ever been in our franchise, at least since we were born.
Yeah, like I love this. I love what we're doing. I love how we're putting it together. I can't wait to see what it looks like on the floor.